offered a gift, and I don't want you to treat it cheaply. I want you to leave out of here absolutely overwhelmed by the gift that God has for you tonight. Because really you have to ask yourself the question, what is Christmas? Here it is. What is Christmas? Christmas is when God came down the stairs of heaven with a baby in his arms. Christmas is not so much about opening up our presents, but really opening up our hearts. That's why I don't want you to get wrapped up in the world, what the world has to sell you, and miss what God has to give you tonight. And that gift tonight is really heaven and forgiveness. Eternity in heaven and forgiveness. That's the gift for every one of you tonight. Think about it this way. If I was to just come to anyone in this place and say, I know the best way to your house, you would look at me and say, ridiculous. I know. I get on this train, or I get on this bus, or it's a two-fare zone, and I got to take this bus to this train, and I know how to get there, or I know the best bridge at what time, or this tunnel at this time. It would be ridiculous. Isn't it amazing that everybody here has a different way to get to heaven, and yet you've never been there? But there is somebody that came from heaven to earth who knows how to get back to his own home. His name is Jesus. So I think the best way tonight, as we close before Cece comes out for the finale, is to realize we've got to get this one right. We've got to get how to get to heaven. If you've never been there, then you don't know the best way. Jesus knows the best way to his own home. In fact, the best way I can say it to you tonight is this. Eternity is too long to be wrong. It's too long to be wrong. See, that's why we have to answer that, realize this statement is true tonight. In 100 years from tonight, you won't be here. Some of you are going like, but I work out. It doesn't matter. I drink green tea. You can drink green tea, but you won't be here 100 years from today. So you have to decide, where will I be? Where will I be in eternity? Listen, as you get older, that question becomes more real, doesn't it? Listen, tomorrow, I will officially be old on my birthday. Officially, I'll be old. Sometimes people go, how do you know how old you are? Well, I always tell them like this. I said, around Christmas, I go, it's the Santa life cycle. It goes like this. It goes, stage 1 is you believe in Santa. Stage 2 is you don't believe in Santa. Stage 3 is you are Santa. And stage 4, you look like Santa. I'm real close to stage 4. But how can we know? How can we know tonight that we are forgiven of our sin? How can we know tonight that we know that when this life is over, we know where we're going to spend eternity? Here is Jesus' directions. I want to give this verse to you, and I want to just get ready for us to close, because I want to pray the most important prayer with you and ask you the most important question. Jesus says, here's the directions. No man can see the kingdom of heaven unless they are, what's the words? Born again. Those are Jesus' words. These are not from Times Square Church. It's not made up by a religion or a denomination. Jesus, who cannot tell a lie, Jesus said, if you want to get to heaven, you must be born again. Some people will be here tonight going, what's born again? Jesus was using something or saying something that just like you had a first birth, many of you in a hospital, you need a second birth spiritually. The first birth is your physical birth date. Your second birth is what happens inside of you, but only God can do. This church can't do it. No religion can do it. Only one person can do it, and his name is Jesus. Well, Tim, how then can I be born again? Here it is. I want to give it to you as simple as I can. It says we would tell a kindergartner or first grader, we would say, learn your ABCs. Tonight I'm going to teach you the ABCs. A, B, and C. Let's see if we can get this right. Because everything rides on this question. Have you been born again? In fact, Jesus says in John 3:7, you must be born again. Jesus said that. Which he's saying to us tonight is this: don't make optional what Jesus says is necessary. So how do we do that? A, here it comes. A, admit that we're sinners. And it's admitting that from the moment we're born, we are broken on the inside. We all have a condition, starting with me, called sin. And you can't fix it with a promise, a program, a prescription, a priest, a pastor. Only one person can fix it. His name is Jesus. See, the day that we're born, we're not born floor models. We are born really as like a box that says assembly required. And we can't fix ourselves. We need God to step in and to do something that we can't even do ourselves. I have a sin problem and I can't fix it myself. I think of this great story from one of the most famous evangelists that has ever lived in the last 50 years. His name was Billy Graham. Billy Graham tells the story that when he first started out preaching, he was going from church to church in little North Carolina towns. And he said, while he was driving, he had a beat-up car, no money in his wallet, and he was preached at a church on a Wednesday night, was driving to another church on a Thursday night, and didn't realize that this small North Carolina town, that the speed limit went to a speed trap and went down to 25 miles an hour. Billy Graham was going 45 miles an hour, pulled over by a small town policeman. Pulled him over, and it was one of those towns that you don't get just a ticket, you get brought into the justice of the peace. And you got to pay the money. And he said it's going to cost you $75 or 3 nights in jail. They bring Billy Graham, who just preached that night, and they bring him before the justice of the peace. The man gets up there, has on his robe, and they say, Your Honor, he was speeding, doing 45 and a 25. The fine is $75. The judge looked at Billy Graham, and he says, it's going to be $75. And all of a sudden, Billy goes, I don't have $75. The judge goes, wait a second. You're Billy Graham. He says, I heard you preach last night. He says, but you still owe $75. He says, so you got to pay the money. And Billy goes, I don't have it. I don't have $75. The judge goes, wait 1 second. The judge walked down off his chair, took off his robe, put it down on the ground, pulled out his wallet, put $75 up there, walked right back up, put on his robe at that time, and said, look at that! Someone paid your bill for $75 that night. Only God could have done that. Only God could have done that 2,000 years ago when from heaven God said, I'm your judge, but all of a sudden takes off his judge robe, comes down for every single one of us and says, I am going to pay your bill. Your sin bill has been paid. It's been paid. See, that's the B word, believe. A, admitting I'm a sinner, but B, believing that God sent his son to die in my place. He was my sin bearer. He died the death I was supposed to die. He lived the life I couldn't live, and he began to give me a reward I don't deserve, which is heaven and forgiveness. He came from heaven to earth and said, tonight you can have a second birth and be born again. And it's C, confessing him as Lord and saying, you are now the boss of my life. You're in charge of my life. That's what Romans 10:9 and 10 says. That if we can confess him as Lord, it says, you shall be saved. It means, see, here's what's important about that. What he was saying is that God didn't send his son to get you to church on Sunday. God didn't come down and die on the cross because he wanted 2 hours for you to be in a religious temple, a mosque, or a church on Sunday. He says, I didn't come down to die on the cross. Rise from the dead so you can sit in a red seat once a week. He said, I came and did all this for you so you can live forever with me. There is just a few more days left as we close before Christmas. And this is what they say now. 40% of you are going to buy a gift card because you can't get the right gift. So here's a gift card. Go to Nordstrom's. Go to Macy's. Go out to eat. And this is what they say. In every home that has gift cards, there are an average of $300 of unused gift cards. In fact, they said, in this last 5 years, there are $41 billion of unused gift cards. How many have an unused gift card in your home? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, $41 billion in this room. Come on, all of you. Strings, how many have unused gift cards? Instruments, unused, all of them. We're all messed up. I've got it. We're all messed up. Here's what I don't want. God is giving you a gift. Don't take it and stick it in a drawer when he says you can leave here tonight and be absolutely changed tonight in this place. The gift of forgiveness, the gift of eternal life, the gift of a relationship with God wants to come in and change you. Here it comes from the inside out. And tonight you can start a journey with God, whether you're watching online, in the balcony, main floor, and those that are watching in overflow, right over in our annex building. Here it is, and let's close with this before CC comes out. Here it is tonight. You can start a journey with God tonight, and immediately somebody's going to say, but I'm not perfect, I'm not perfect. Here's the good news tonight. Perfect people don't go to heaven. Forgiven people go to heaven. But I've got to stop this. I got to clean this. As soon as I get good, I'm going to come here. News flash. You don't get good and come to Jesus. You come to Jesus and he makes you good. That's the gospel. That's the gospel. So tonight, I'm going to ask you the most important question. Have you been born again? And tonight, your life can be changed. I want to pray a born again prayer with everyone that is in this building tonight. Because I want you to leave not with a song and not simply with a couple of laughs. I want you to leave tonight with a relationship with God. Tonight, you can start a journey with God tonight. Tonight you can. I'm going to ask everybody in this place to close your eyes and bow your head for one moment. This is the most important thing most important decision you can make tonight. And let me tell you what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to pray a born again prayer. I'm going to pray a prayer that says, God, I want to start a journey with you tonight. God, I don't just want to come into a church building tonight, but I want to leave with God in my life tonight. And if you're in this building, in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to make you this promise. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to have you stand. I'm not going to make you walk forward, but I am going to tell you this tonight. Make no qualms about it. In the next 90 seconds, I'm going to ask you in 90 seconds that if you want to be included in that prayer, I'm going to have you raise your hand because I want you to make the decision tonight. In just the next 90 seconds, I'm going to go, if you want to be included and say, Tim, I want to start a journey with God tonight. I want God to change me from the inside out. I want to learn today how to walk with God. I want a new life. I want to walk out of here changed tonight. And I'm telling you, the first step is to say, God, come in. Change me from the inside out. I want to be born again. If you're in this place with every head bowed and every eye closed, the balcony, main floor, without any hesitation, if you say tonight, Tim, when you pray that born again prayer, I want to be included in that. I want to start a brand new journey with God tonight. Without any hesitation, I want you to hold up your hand as high as you can right now. Hold them up as high as you can because I'm going to count them and make sure I see every hand that's up. Keep them up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, keep them up high, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. Okay, that's just the main floor. I got to get to the balcony. I got to make balcony, hold them up high so I can see you. 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Wait a second, we got a whole group right there. We're at 90, 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38,